But I have. Oh, sorry, the mic was way over here. Today we're gonna do something a little different than usual. Might get to playing a little bit later, but we're not gonna start off playing. I have the World Open, big chess tournament, in a couple days, and I want to get ready for it. And train. And so we're genuinely going to get better at chess, and one of the absolute best ways to get better at chess, maybe the best way, that and reviewing your games, are 1A and 1B, is doing tactics, doing puzzles. So you can see my Lichess puzzle rating is not crazy high relative to my actual rating here. So let's just try to figure this out. Here's the first puzzle. We have a knight in 2 versus knight in 3. Of course, we'd love to give a check and detether here, but it's not going to end well. Check, king takes g4, takes in here. Obviously, we don't have this check, so I think the only logical move would be g3. c7, we can catch it. So I think g3 has to be the only logical move. No, that's wrong. And we're losing rating. Oh. g3, okay, this knight is going to come back and catch the pawn here. But maybe not if we first drag it to g7 and then g3. I don't know why this didn't occur to me at all. Then the knight really has not much to do. Like king out the way, g2, check, out the way. Yes, this is gonna work. We drag him here. This is... If we go... I mean, we don't want to both queens, so let's just eat this, yeah? Okay, we gotta get there. Okay, we gotta be a little bit careful, because king d8, king d6, right? For example, g1, c7, king c8, knight e7, and then the pawn would make it all the way to c8. So we need to make sure we stop this pawn. Probably here, actually. Actually, this needs to be very precise, because if we just get out the way completely, then we just both promote. King d8, king d6. It can't be it. So, I mean, it has to be here by process of elimination, but can we prove why that works? c7, king d7, knight d6. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. Then knight d6, then we would play king d8. King d6, we promote. Good. Okay. What's up, Eric? So here, yeah, knight g7 check, so that the knight couldn't catch this pawn, and then we actually had to be... This was an interesting inclusion. We had to be very precise here when we got checked, so that the king could catch this pawn on d7, but not in such a way that this would be check right now if we were on d8. Right? So if they play c7 right now, okay, we just go... Actually, queen c5 check is a nice move. King e6, and we eat it. Okay. We actually got that wrong. We lost rating. So let's do better. This is just genuinely... We're just doing educational content here. Alright, they're going to play knight takes h6 if we do nothing, so I think this one has to be pretty straightforward. We got to play h7. Takes, king takes f5. I mean, it's the sort of situation where, you don't really have another option. If it doesn't work, you're just going to lose. h7, f6, king e6, and they don't really have a check. They don't really have a check. Actually, wait. King e6 is probably stupid. There's king e6 and there's king e4. Both of them, we got to stay in contact with the knight, so that once they take the pawn, we can take the knight. If we go king e6, there's actually knight g7 check. And then if we don't take that knight, then they would eat this pawn, and that's not good. If we trade on g7, then we play something like... We need to play h8, they would take it, then we take on f6. Then they play like a5, f5, a4, king e7, a3, f6, a2, f7, a1, f8, draw. But what if... Okay, so we should go to e4. Can they give any checks to save this knight before they eat this pawn? Not d6. Yes, g3, but then we go king f3 and we eat the knight. Yes. Good, yeah. My first instinct was king e6, actually. But knight g7 check saved the game. You sub, thanks so much. Hey, Nana. Jaja, what's up? You love the stream, that's great. Great stuff. This is a tricky one. Glad to have you here. What I would love to do, I'm feeling like the vibe is to promote with check. Should be there, but this needs to also not be here, so there's a lot going on here. If we, so, okay, what if we just go? What's going on here? So if I just, take this... it would probably be e6 if I had to guess, then d2, and g7, and d1, and g8, and we tie. Right? If I play king f8 to try to stop this pawn, right? So they're playing e6 so that I don't have king f7. So it takes e6. If I play king f8, f6, d2, e7, king e8, g7, that's going to be even worse. So, yeah, we probably need some sort of situation where we get there with the check. The other thing I'm thinking about is cb3, ab3, a3. Because if I can promote on A, actually, if I promote on A, and we get that position, no. But I was thinking like queen f6 check, and then we can force a queen trade here, but we lose on a queen trade. We're lacking the pawns, not the opposite. So, yeah, anything I do, take, e6, b2, g7, seems like a pretty familiar result. We promote, they promote, and then I'm not seeing what happens once we both have queens in terms of how we win. There's no use going here too early, because then king f6. Nothing to do here. Ah, wait. Unless we dragged the king onto f6 so that we could check it from a1. We drag the king onto f6 so that we can check it from a1. So here, king f6, cb3, g7, king g8, ab3, a3, e6, a2, e7, a1, check. That's it. We gotta go here first. No, what? I really thought I figured that out. Wait, we start with this? But this, and now a3. Okay, I mean, that transposes to the line I just said. e6. I assume the point is e6 and then king f8, right? We have to play king f8 in this position. Yeah, we have to play king f8, not a2, because a2 we tie. We were just going to both promote. King f8, though, we would play king f6 so that we win this race. 7 here. Okay. So, why didn't my idea work? Why did we have to do this first? What was wrong with this? Oh, because, yeah. Oh, because they can actually just take these pawns and we don't get anything. We're down 3-2. Okay, we have to start here, of course. There were just so many options to promote on any of these 4 squares that I forgot, like, okay, we can't just play king f8. Okay. Just got so absorbed in this. Okay, so this is a different one. I mean, I like that it's not just endgames anymore. I'm thinking that the move is just queen h5 with rook h6 coming next, yeah? Queen h5, I guess there's knight g7. No. We should probably go queen f4 so that we have rook h6 next, actually. I like that. Yes. Queen f4 is the move, so that we threatening rook takes h6, which is very strong. Winning the queen here. And otherwise, you're not. Ton black can do about that. Whereas if we went here, then knight g7, okay, it gives them some other resources. Yeah, h5, they can guard it. Whereas, you know, you can't. You can't. Like, I can just slip underneath. Alright, alright. Keep it rolling. We are... Wait, I'm white? Wait, which way am I going? Huh? Oh, I flipped the board. Did I flip? Oh, okay. I'm white. I'm going this way. Here seems like a forcing option, because anything else just allows these checks, right? Check, check, check. So here seems like a pretty forcing option regarding mate. For example, queen g3, I could probably trade on g4, take, 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 and then win. So h5 only move. Similarly, I think queen f3 wins the game, take, 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 and c6, king 2, c7, f3, c8, yeah. So, okay, h5 only move. I'm not sure why that's so good. That's okay. Is the chat box appearing here? Chat box should be appearing. How would we ever get them if they played h5? We need to... I think maybe it's queen d1, h5, and then just going c6. Is that possible? Just go with c6. Because queen e1 would also be mate, and you can't guard them both. For example, queen c3 hangs onto that, but then I would go c7. And then once you take it, then I would mate you on e1. I could also just go here, queen e1, king h2, h5. Okay, I'm not sure. Here, like I want to go there, but then h5, then I go c6. I think we should just go for this. No, it was this? What's the difference? What is the difference? Why is this winning, but the other one wasn't? Do I just go up? What was wrong with the other option? I could take it, or I could take it. I feel like I gotta watch out for stalemating tricks. Like here, queen h1, right? And king takes h1 stalemate. It's actually really cute. So I gotta take it, right? Or else this is gonna be stalemate if I didn't give them the h5 square. Okay, what was wrong with just queen d1? h5 and now here? Because apparently, if I just go... Oh, we needed like queen takes f4 in this position. This is not good enough because we would get checkmate if we promoted, so we just have to come back. Okay, tricky. Queen d6. Just that simple. Take or d8. I hit the knight. Why wouldn't that be good? You would have to go like rook d1 to not lose immediately. I would take the knight. You can go king g1, e4, king f2, and survive. So maybe we could do even better. If I trade, and then e4. Then you take my rook, and then e3. Yeah, it's actually very strong. E2 will make a queen together. Trade e4. That's actually the best because we have all the back rank mate tricks. Takes them too long to solve these problems. e4 here, actually. And e3. and presumably 2, and then we just make that trade. But then I'm actually not convinced that's so winning after king takes f1 particularly. If I play like b5, knight e3, rook e3, king f2. No, that's worse than we could be losing if they control this pawn. Okay, I think this is the only move. Unless... No, knight e3 and king takes f1. So... Okay, it is actually good. This is best. This is better than taking and bringing the king in. You go here first, and then you can get underneath a little bit. Yeah, you get underneath. And you can pick these off. Smart little idea there to go e1 rather than take. Because here... much less clear. Interesting. Okay. We are doing tactics. We're prepping for the World Open. I'm just doing my tactics, just trying to get better. And you'll hear what's going on in my head, what I'm trying to think about as we go through some tough, high-level tactics. I was wondering if you'd give me some advice against the hippo. Like G6 and B6? I mean, just like take the center, boom, 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 boom. Like, just don't be afraid of it. Play A4, go here, castle long, lead G4, H4. Like, just take all the space. I would go E4, D4 without any C or F pawns and just put the knight there. Whatever they push in the center, just execute the push pass rule. And just like expand. Take all the space they give you. Yeah, tiny differences were crazy there. You right. So our queen is hit, and we want to stay on this line, presumably. But we also want to stay right there, because that's a quick way to lose. So no bishop move, because we'll lose this. So we should probably take this knight. That's a good idea, because now the queen, again, needs to decide between D1 and H stuff. D1, it seems pretty pressing. But we also have F takes G7. I mean, that just seems good, right? If I just take and then queen G4. Is it so much better to play queen G4 now? I mean, queen F... like, let me do this, right? Let me include this. Now eat. Yeah. I mean, like, I think I could have just taken here, but yeah. Oh, wow. Huge difference. Because of, oh, GF6 hitting the knight and bishop. If, like, I just kind of assumed there would be something here, but there's not. The king can just run all the way to F6, apparently. It's a draw. Okay. Well done, well done. Sometimes it's just like that. Alright, we're officially higher rated than we were when we started. I think it was 26.06 when I started. Let's see if we can get all the way to 27. My tactics are second to none. I'm flattered. If only that were true. But I really appreciate... Alright, well, we gotta go E6. I mean, the pawn's gotta roll. So that makes sense, because King E8 they got forked. King F8 they got checked and then forked. So they're here. Presumably we want F7. Because if we go E7, then the king stays on F7, and then the pawns get stuck on that color. The bishop can't help them advance from that color. So we want them on the light squares, opposite to the bishop, where the bishop can help. No, unless there's some tricky-dicky stuff, but probably just this. And I presume they should be rolling. Oh, that's not correct at all. Brutal. It's 97, because it's just here. So... and then what? What would we do? I could go up, check, lose the bishop, and F7. Rook F4 and F8. That could be right, actually. Yeah. It's tough. It takes my second attempt. Knight for the check. No, we're good. Wait, so F7 wasn't winning here is surprising. What's the draw? Oh, the draw is obvious. They play Rook F8 and then they take it next turn. Didn't occur to me. But obviously, that is their way for black to draw the game. That is the way for black to draw the game. And E7, king takes F7, and again, they draw the game by giving the rook for the pawns. So yeah, of course they want that. So we need the king support. We need the king's support right with them. Right with them here. There's no checks. F8 promotes. Gets the rook whole. And instead of giving both pawns for the rook, we gave a bishop and a pawn for the rook. And we'll end up with the other pawn. Yep, you're right, you're right. Okay, king c4 here. What do we got? Well, if I don't take this, I'm just going to lose. Because e4, king d4. Okay, I mean, takes, like, okay, we could... Actually, maybe I lied. King, pawn, pawn. Also, takes king d5, king g3, king e5, king h4. We're actually winning. So here g4, it's actually not that obvious for them to drop, but e4, h5. Wait, so takes g4, e4, h5. Take, e3, h6, e2, e7, e1, g8, draw, right? But what if we go here first, such that they can't get rolling, right? So e4, they play g4, we would just take it. It's interesting, because king d4, take. I think they're fully boxed out in that position, and we would win this h-pawn and roll. So let's start with this. So they do that, now we take it. Now they played king d4 instead of here, so we can get rolling. Very nice. So what if they played g4? We would take this one, right? This would be a dark transposition to the other line. After h5, they should draw. Here, king d4. You need to come back, and they're going to be out of moves or something. Oh, we can just transpose once we each swap this. This is the same position we just looked at that we established is actually winning for black. Because they can make this into a rook pawn, but we still have the king fully boxed out. And we should win. Can you just run away and not engage in the boxing ring? Good question. The ring is not that big. You would just get cut off at some point. I mean, you could try to dance around a little bit, but they'd cut you off, and you gotta engage a little bit. But that doesn't mean like footwork and being quicker like isn't very important. But you can't just totally never come into range like that. Not really possible. Especially not with a broken ankle. Okay. So, what if we go here? Seems pretty good. I mean, queen's got to move. Right? And then my idea is just this trade and then queen a8. I think that's it. If I take queen e8, I think they're okay. So we do... But this, there's rook a1 and takes... Scenario. Queen c6. That's actually probably pretty good. Okay, takes. No? What? What is the follow-up here? Oh, it's this and this. Nice. I thought this would be good, though. I guess they go bishop takes. Okay. It's equal. It's queen a8 because we have rook f7 and bishop g6. Very nice. Very, very nice. What's up, out of book? What is the World Open? The World Open is a big, big chess tournament. It is, as I understand it, and how it advertises itself, the largest open money tournament in the world. Let me turn on the air conditioner. I'm hot. Alright, it's just on fan mode. It's the largest open money tournament in the world. It's in Philadelphia, and I've gone many, many years throughout my life. It's fun. Well, like, everyone I know will be there in the chess world. Queen. Take. And here. I mean, that's what we want. Then we get to h8, right? This is the other, like, attractive option. Take here. I mean, it's actually quite attractive. I mean, but I think the problem is queen f7, actually. And then, like, the heavy hitter takes on f3, not just the pawn. So, yeah, we should go with the queen. That's interesting. So, be careful. Not here. That gives checks. Not takes, because rook takes, and they're following up with queen g3. So, by process of elimination, it's got to be here. And then they got to do that. I guess the bishop g2, we could go king g1 probably to dodge all checks. So they just throw this in the way, and then we could just eat the rook. Very nice. Oh, we were down a rook to begin with, but we got these two monsters. So, like, they take it, and then, yeah, go monsters, go. Here. We just need to, like, apparently this is the only winning move. So that when they promote, we just, then we go. Nice. Okay. Queen e6. So it's a problem if they take e7 in either direction and then grab f7. Let's go check. Let's go check. And then this seems good because there's like checkmate stuff, right? Like that's mate, for example. Yeah. No? How in the world is that wrong? That maybe defends... I guess defends all the squares I wanted to use. That's better. Hit the rook and then get into one of these spots. That's just a better version of what I did, because now they defend, but the rook is hanging. Queen b6 was definitely better than queen f1, yeah. Yeah, queen f1, queen e3, and actually they really do hang on to everything, and they're winning. Just even though it's equal material, they're just gonna go with this. Okay. Bishop d6 played. So, what do we want here? A lot's going on. I mean, I don't want to give f7. I want to do that and really just take your rook. Does it have to be so much more complicated than that? I mean, I guess there's bishop e5 as soon as my knight leaves. Probably not what we wanted. Mm. Yeah, take. It's not what we wanted. Here, yeah, bishop e5 is a good move. So, not that. Then, okay, maybe I take this, then knight h4. Then I grab f3 so that I can take e3 real clean. Unless I'm just supposed to do this right now. I don't want to give this. This is not correct, really. What's this? What? Wait, what was the move here? King g8, let this get taken with check? What? Oh my god, I didn't see this at all. I didn't see that the queen could take back. Okay, of course knight h4 then. What? Okay. Oh man. I didn't see that. Okay. Ooh, this seems like a sort of move I would play. I feel like I'm fighting against myself right now. What do we got? Bishop takes. Check, like bishop g8. Some way for the queen to get in, right? It's probably pretty nasty. Do I take with the pawn then? Because check, king g7. Bishop g8. And f5. Yeah, that's a difference maker. How is that not correct? Flabbergasted. Okay, what is it this? And bishop g8, and then well, we just go here, and they just don't really have it. Here takes bishop g7. We're just like, you're gonna run out of steam. Takes here. Or unless we want to do something like this. Bishop f7, bishop e5. I mean, it's playable. It's probably okay. No, it's this. Huh. If I go pawn takes, the problem is this move, knight takes e6, check, fork. If I go f takes, then queen g6, and white will win. Okay, didn't see that. Yeah, if it weren't for knight e6. Okay, so bishop, check here, bishop g8. I thought that was a pretty nasty move in my calculations because of the queen h7 double threat. You can't take either of these because you can't take both of them. Right? Someone will get you on h7, but then g6. There's so many ways they could take f7, but I guess all three of the pieces can be captured, so it's kind of funny. Take, you gotta go rook takes. If you go here, you're gonna lose. Somehow. Knight ef7. Okay. Otherwise, takes or takes here. Okay. Gotta play defense sometimes. Alright, well, I'd love to break this pin, because that's checkmate. Can I play f6 or f takes e6? Both of them seem good. F takes e6, because I want that. I think the problem, most notably, is queen f3. Bishop's still pinned. Okay. Okay, I'm actually more exhausted than I thought, guys. Sorry this is going to be such a short stream, but hope you enjoyed some high-level tactics. They're really tough. But yeah, I'm getting pretty tired. But I'll see you guys again tomorrow. 47 on puzzle streak. That's awesome. Alright, maybe I'll do some of that on chess.com.